Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I know based on it was the last episode that I did where a lot of people are probably like, where do I go from here concerning drama? And yeah, overall, I just don't want any parts of it. I feel like that I've talked on this before that I have been trying to exclude myself from any dramas, beefs, because no, people be trying to go at it with me, and I'm like, fam, I don't, I'm not going to get myself involved in whatever, I guess, outburst, or not really an outburst. I really don't know what to call it when a person, it's like they got something going on, but they want me to get involved, and then it's like they want to argue and all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's karma for all the different times I was getting into it with people back when I was younger, but now I'm like, I've gotten to a point where it's like drama is just not, it's not fun. Because that's the thing where I've said this with just, regarding like just the robot situation, Minnesota Boys situation, any other dramas that I've been in, I never really had asked hard-hitting questions, but I would have to say those would be the two guys in their fan bases where I was asking them some hard-hitting questions. And that's the thing, they always go unanswered. So that's why I'm like, if I'm not going to get the answers, I'm supposed to give out all these answers, but I can't get no answers in return. That's why I'm like, nah, it's not a fair drama. It's not a fair debate or whatever it is people want to call it and stuff, where it's like I got to do all these things, but like nobody can answer my questions or see things from my point of view. I have to just see things from their point of view. That's why when I was talking on the one quote unquote just a robot friend, he's wanting to debate me, and I'm like, I already know how this debate is going to go. I'm not going to be right on anything that I say. You're always going to be right. Why would I put myself in that environment? Why would I put myself in that conversation? So that's why I'm like, with the drama and the beefing with people and all that, it's pointless. Where it's like, if we can't, the thing is this, because prior before it even becomes a drama, beef, whatever you want to call it, there should be a mutual agreement on whatever it is that this person is doing. I can learn to ignore it. Whatever it is that person is doing to me, I can learn to ignore it. That's the issue with drama. People don't know how to ignore stuff. People don't know how to move on and let things go. And they want to hold grudges and, continue on the fight and have it where, oh, if I can't do nothing, then I'll just have those around me do something. And I'm like, fam, I see things like that. And then I see all of the different content that I've done throughout the years. Like, let's just talk on these past 5 years of me being a content creator. A full-time content creator, again, I should say. But anyways, I've had like 5 years to be a full-time content creator. Like, I remember back then, like 2015, 2016, I always considered that my rookie year. But I looked during that time frame of when I wasn't, like, I got into it with, it was like two YouTubers, one being Minnesota Boy and then this other guy named Clockwork Cyborg. But I was mainly focusing on myself. I was mainly making videos that was bettering my career and stuff. So when I think back then, and I'm like, and I, carry on that stuff now, but it's like, yeah, talking on just that time frame, having it where I'm recording 15 videos, on one channel, and then having it where it's like, yeah, 30 something videos all together in a day, where it's a bunch of different gaming videos, a bunch of different reaction videos, or videos of me just sitting around talking about stuff. I look at the creative side of myself being a content creator, and I'm like, there's nothing creative about getting into it with people. I guess, yeah, I could crack some jokes and say some things, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's like 1% of my creativity being used. Versus, okay, let me, because that's a series I actually plan on doing. I don't know if I'm going to do it on I don't know if I should wait until I have like a bunch of different, like of my streams posted on my gaming channel, because I'm super behind. But I don't know if I should do, post these videos on my gaming channel, on my main channel, but I'm actually thinking about doing a series where I blindfold myself and I try my hardest to play whatever video games and stuff. So I'm thinking about doing that. I've gotten into making music, but now so I was like, I kind of just, kind of jumped the gun. I'm going all over the place, talking back during that time frame of 2015, but yeah, it was like doing a lot of different gaming videos and reaction videos. I realized that I gained more of an audience doing that rather than sitting around focused on drama. And it's funny because you'll have like a crowd, you'll have like two crowds of people in the like fan base that you're getting into it with. Like let's just lay out a scenario. You get into a fan base, you're gonna have two different types of people. You're gonna have people where they don't want the drama to continue on anymore. Then you're gonna want people that wants the drama to continue on. And I've dealt with both sides. I've dealt with people where they'll comment underneath my videos, but they probably turn right back around and be all like, oh, let me stir up some stuff, let me say some things, let me, and that's one thing I feel like it's an ongoing thing that always ends up like happening with my channel is that, and it's crazy because it doesn't concern them. Like who I am, like the whole just TMossBoss side of the internet, it doesn't concern them. Yet they will always find a reason to come back to my channel. So I know people always ask like, why do you still talk about drama? Why do you still talk about the beefs? Why do you still, because for one, I want people to know like what it is really like. It is a waste of time. You have people on the internet that wants to waste your time because they don't have no time to, like I guess do things to better themselves. So overall, they're like, well, I'm gonna take people down with me. And I'm like, fam, I'm not the one. I don't want to be nowhere near you. I don't want to be around you. And I realize that and I understand that. And I'm like, fam, even right now, me just sitting down talking about this, and I'm thinking of all these different ideas where I could be talking on something gaming related, music related, movie related, YouTube related, Twitch related, TikTok related, bringing back Vine. Let's revive MySpace. Like I'm thinking of all these different things. Like when I tell you guys that like my mind is just content creating 24/7, bro, I'm telling you, like you can tell me to make a video about something, I will make 10 videos about that topic. Like you're like, all right, make a video about MySpace, fam. I will give you like a 5-part thing, like documentary about MySpace, and then another 5-part documentary about how MySpace can be revived or could be better, or like just what new things that could be added to it. I'm telling you, like that's one thing about it where it's like with content creating, I realized like what I'm capable of when it comes down, because that was something I remember learning about myself back when I was in school. They had us do like this testing to see what we would be, I guess like what our career would be when we're older. And I think we took one in middle school and high school, or it was either like early high school and then late high school. I can't remember exactly when, but I just remember they had us do this testing to see what we were going to be involved in our career choices when we get older. And mine's was like arts, like mine's was like creativity and arts and things. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll try to figure out something. Next thing you know, I'm over here, a year after I graduated from high school, I'm over here thinking, I'm like, okay, ain't no jobs hiring. What could I possibly do? Well, you know what? Maybe I should start up a business. Maybe I should do something, like I guess with what I have and stuff. I have a laptop. I have some, horrible equipment to use for my laptop to record videos. I'm going to be a content creator. Next thing you know, I'm thousands of videos deep, thousands of subscribers deep, millions of views deep. And I realized like, dang, I'm actually pretty good at this. Like all the different, having it where I have 50 different YouTube channels, having it where it's like I can stream any video game or play any video game and stuff. There might be some games out there that's a little bit shady, but I'm just saying, like, if I sat down and that's the thing where I feel like that I don't even use my full power as a content creator. Like there's games out there where it's like Elden Ring, for an example. That's a game I just choose not to play because I'm like, all right, I know I'm going to be raging and going off and going crazy on this game. But fam, imagine I could have a channel dedicated to just me playing Elden Ring in a bunch of different ways. Or even if it's a channel where, and I'm like, fam, that's something that I might end up doing, where it's like a channel where it's just dedicated to certain video games, where I'm like, okay, this is a game that I'm not all that interested in, but I know I can dump thousands of hours into it. Forza, for an example, and just like having it where it's just all Forza related, where it's like, it's me going back and playing like the original Forza, and then having it where I don't really know like what, because that's a Forza game that I haven't really touched on that much, not like 3, 4 and 7 and the new one, and then the Horizons. But I'm like, fam, I can have a whole channel just dedicated to Forza. Like I can have a channel. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, when I sit down and I think of like what I'm capable of as a content creator, there is no place for drama and getting into it with people. So yeah, that's why I was like, with that whole situation with Just the Robot's friend, he trying to debate me at 2 a.m. It's like, I'm over here thinking to myself, what are we going to talk about that's going to be that interesting to where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be wanting to talk about it at 2 a.m. Nothing. So, and that's the thing where I'm like, I'm over here working on videos. Like while I was tweeting that guy, I'm working on videos. So I'm like, I'm looking at these videos and I'm like, man, this is what I need to be doing. This is what I need to be focused on. I'm like, this guy tried to tweet me. I'm like, if it's a toss up between working on myself and debating, I'm like, fam, I'm going to be working on myself. That's why it's like people need to understand that debating, arguing, beefing, all that stuff, the fighting on the internet, it's unnecessary. I'm like, that's one thing that I've learned throughout the 15 years of me being a content creator is that there is no reason on why I'm out here starting, even just talking on Minnesota Boy, where it was like he had his mind made up about why he don't like white people and stuff, and look how that all backfired on him. That's one thing about like drama and getting into it with people. I'm like, and that's something that I've just learned throughout the years is that I'm not gonna waste my time, trying to, I guess, like let this person know about themselves. I'm gonna let them figure it out on their own. And then that's when, people get to see them for their true colors and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll probably might say a word or two on that individual. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm going to let them destroy themselves. Because and I feel like that it ain't even in my place. Like, even with the situation with Just the Robot, fam, I could have went above and beyond with trying to, have it where more people hated on that guy. I could have been going around, I guess, doing what I've been telling his fans and himself to do. It's like, go out and about and tell the world about your hatred towards me. But I could have very well did that. I could have went out and about and showed people his videos and all that stuff. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I guess if I was a petty person, I'm trying not to be a petty person. I think if I was like a full 100% petty person, I feel like the pettiness in me, it's like, I would have to say it's below 20%. Like it's something where I'm like, I might have my moments where I'd be a little bit petty in things, where I'm like, let's see how this works out. But other than that, I'm like, nah, there's better things I could be doing with my time. So that's why I'm like, I'm not really worried about, whatever it is that he's going through. I mean, he's going through it. It's crazy to see, but at the end of the day, that's his business. So that's why I'm like, people be trying to get me involved, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to sit. I mean, there's at times where, because just the 2 times where people have interviewed me, because I wanted to just clear that up, because I know people will probably be thinking like, oh, I just don't want to talk about it at all. And I've said this before, where it's like the only time where I will talk on drama, the only time where I will mention Minnesota Boy, Just the Robot, or anybody else that I've gotten into it with, it would just be more so for like an educational thing, like a lesson, being taught and stuff, to let people know, like, on both sides, you're not going to get anywhere arguing with people that already got their mind made up. And then you're not going to get anywhere if you're trying to let a person know about themselves. And it's like, more so, I guess, if you're putting yourself in Just a Robot shoes and you're trying to quote unquote let a person know about themselves, talking about me, it's like, fam, my thing is this, again, person already has their mind made up. Do you honestly think, where it's like, and just asking, like, yeah, and this one of those like hard hitting questions, but do you think that you can convince a person to stop doing what they're doing? Like, I guess if this was all about me stopping reaction videos or whatever, not being a content creator anymore, I'm just going based off of the comments that I received throughout the years, but if it was about that, do you honestly think that you're going to convince me to stop doing what I've been doing for years now? And here it is. It's like, besides, this helping me financially and stuff, but even if it wasn't about the money, there was at a point in time where I wasn't even making any money with content creating. I wasn't even making any money with reaction videos, barely if I was, but it's like I find all this joy and entertainment in talking with people across the world, having it where it's like, hold on for a second, let me bring that up real quick, the analytics and the different crowds that be watching my videos, where the audience, let's see, where's the here we go, countries and stuff. So yeah, having it where it's like of the United States, of course, but we got the UK, Canada, Germany, Australia, France, Netherlands, India, South Africa, Italy, Poland, Philippines, Sweden, Spain, Brazil, New Zealand, Finland, Denmark, Indonesia, Ireland, Russia, Switzerland, Mexico, Norway, Austria, Belgium, Czechia, I think that's how you'd say that. I don't know. But anyways, Malaysia, Japan, Ukraine, Vietnam, Hungary, I believe that might be Turkey, like Turkey or something. I don't know. But anyways, Romania, Greece, Portugal, Israel, Argentina, South Korea, Singapore, Puerto Rico, Croatia, Thailand, Jamaica, Nigeria, Trinidad, Tobago, Serbia, Chile, Slovakia, and Kenya. And just asking each of those people, all right, because I imagine it's probably my voiceover videos, my reaction videos, all the content that doesn't have to do with drama. What do you think them people are going to want to see from me? Do you think they're going to want to see the content that brought them to my channel? Like I said, the reaction videos, the occasional gaming videos that I'll post from time to time, my music, my voiceover videos, my memes, stuff where it's like this is going to actually entertain somebody. But sit down and think about it. This is a question I want to ask somebody where it's like, you are randomly scrolling through the internet and you see, and I guess there'll be some people that's just curious to see what it be about, but I don't know how many times I ain't seen where other content creators then got into it with each other, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. So I'm like, and then especially on top of that, if I got my own personal life to be worried about, and here it is, these guys got all these different videos back and forth, where some of these videos is a bunch of minutes long to, if not that, over an hour. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time, I guess worried about whatever these guys is doing. But overall though, you come across two YouTubers that's getting into it with each other, don't know who they are, don't know what their content is about. Do you honestly think you're gonna sit down and go through the numerous videos that they done uploaded on each other and stuff, and watching that versus, okay, this person, one has gaming videos where it's like they playing and beating games, doing all these other different challenges and achievement hunting and all that stuff, and it's like, what else? But overall though, just asking that question, do you think you're gonna sit down and watch their videos about drama or watch the actual entertaining videos? Because that's one thing that I've seen where it's like, and I don't know, maybe I'm just overall saying this because it's me that they're talking about, but even if it is other people, I don't find videos like where they sit down talking, more so me, I would have to say, I don't find those videos interesting. So yeah, there's been times where I'm all like, okay, it's like some, I guess like if it's big name creators, like if it's like Kai Cenat and PewDiePie, I'm like, dang, what they got going on, But if it's like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, underscore, COD Sniper underscore versus, I'm trying to think of somebody else, PlayStation, handler or something like that, and these guys is beefing, we don't know who they are, we don't know what their situation is about. It's kind of, and that's another thing too, where it's like, I guess to even paint out a better example, who do you think you're gonna watch, Prime Batista and Prime Undertaker, or are you gonna watch some guys that are in the indies? I think that speaks for itself, So yeah, you might have some people that'll watch the indies, but I think, yeah, we seeing Prime Batista and Prime Undertaker going back and forth, we for the wrestling fans out there, we gonna be more interested in that. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.